hello, darling, and welcome to the Just Jax podcast. Hi, I'm Jax, and I help you find the can in your cat. When we challenge our cats, miracles happen, because when I challenge mine of I can't draw, I can't paint, and I can't color, imagine my surprise when I discovered what I can do is create a 21-foot garden mural that was recently featured not once but twice on the front page of our local newspaper. Next up, I challenge the I'm no author, no artist, and no cursive writing specialist, but what I can do is self-publish 3 books for my kick-ass cursive writing curriculum, Crack the Cursive Code. I'm a jack of all trades, but what I master in is helping ordinary people like me to do extraordinary things through laughter, tears, life-changing stories, because metaphors are my jam. Together we can find the can in your can'ts, the do's in your don'ts, and the wills in your won'ts. I'm so excited for you. Let's go. Well, hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the Just Jax podcast. These episodes drop every Tuesday morning, very, very early, that way to catch all of my people around the world. And if you would like this podcast to continue and reach those people, please leave a 5-star review on whatever platform that you're listening to. Today is a day for celebration. It is the 3rd of January. I'm recording this on a bright Saturday. Well, not so bright because it's still pitch black, but I feel bright and wide awake on this Saturday morning. For my voice is finally coming back. It's almost at 100%, which I'm very thankful for. And my body is starting to feel like it's back to normal. And the strangest thing is that I have been eating pomegranates like they're going out of style. I'm telling you, I've probably eaten close to 30 of them since the 21st of November. There's something about them right now that my body is craving. Probably spent over $100 on just pomegranates themselves. I have juice everywhere on my monitors, on my desks, on my floors, on myself. And don't care because I need to get them in my body as much as possible. I looked on Dr. Google and they said that iron, and if you are fighting an illness, pomegranate juice is really good for that. Well, I never expected to eat 30 of them. That probably encompasses the past 20 years of my life altogether on how many pomegranates I've eaten, but I am feeling better, and I'm really finding out that there's 2 different types of people really and how they attack their situations. There are some that want other people to fix it, and there's some that want to fix it themselves. And I waffle between those 2 back and forth. And I think that's where good balance is knowing when you can do it yourself and knowing when it's time to hand over the reins. But when it comes to my body and fixing it, the type that will try, well, I'm drinking dandelion tea right now to deal with my fatty liver, which is so ironic that I have a fatty liver. Now, granted, I've eaten like a teenager for quite a while, and so that would be part of it. But the first thing they tell you when you have a fatty liver is that you need to stop drinking alcohol. I have never been an alcohol drinker at all. I dislike the taste immensely. The feeling that it really gives me nothing that I want to enjoy or have fun with or loosen up with. But the funny thing about nature versus nurture, I have been surrounded by alcohol and people who drink alcohol my entire life, yet I have no interest whatsoever. The fact that I have this relationship with alcohol just made me even more of a black sheep in my family, because my family were known to be able to put away their liquor very well. They even made different types of moonshine, potato, and such. And the Ukrainian heritage can really party. And my disinterest in alcohol has gotten to the point that I've never been drunk. I've never passed out. I've never thrown up because of alcohol. The entire drunk experience that people have, I've never had. And honestly, from the outside looking in, is it something that I really need to experience? But my liver has been basically alcohol free its entire life. I'm a firm believer that there are certain things in our life put there for our complete protection. So it was a very big realization and a wake up. But how my life has been protected, because if I would have been a drinker And here I am now dealing with a fatty liver with zero impact from alcohol. Could you imagine if I was a drinker where my liver would be right now? I would be in serious shape. And I want to say I'm the type of person that sets myself up for success, even though that lack of alcohol in my life was a real pain in the ass sometimes, because my husband is a social drinker and he handles it beautifully. And we could go out as couples, but we go out and we've met people that enjoy to drink alcohol socially. And it's a dud because I put a damper on it, and I know I shouldn't, and people got to be bigger people. And we heard all about that, but it happens to the best of people, and we've been around great quality people, and it misfires. Something disconnects. So I'm just very thankful that my liver has given me this many years of service, and I have gratitude for my liver and everything that it has done. And I'm very thankful that I was able to be protected all this time, even though the protection felt like a limitation. And sometimes I wonder if we misunderstand what these protections are, that all we have sat there many times and asked and asked and asked and asked for something. And next thing you know, when it comes your way, it's like, oh my God, that's not the way I wanted it to happen. But you are ultimately getting what you asked for. And for me, it was to be protected and safe. And my liver has been that way. This podcast is going to be very interesting because I have had interactions with 3 women that all have the same name. And all 3 of them taught me something else about my New Year's resolutions, and probably more like new life resolutions on what I need to go forward in this year of 2026, because it's time now. It's quite fascinating because this year I did something different, and it's unclear if it was because I was really sick or because of the tension between my husband and myself, or what else did it. I did a bare minimum of Christmas lights. I actually was told by a woman that loves to go to my house to see my Christmas lights this year, and my house was pretty dark. I had no energy mentally or emotionally to put my Christmas lights up, and that to me was a huge sign, and that will be the last year that looks like that. I need to figure out ways in which that I can move the obstacles that are in my path to bring out the Christmas lights, because I absolutely love them and I want to make my yard a winter wonderland without using snowmen. Just the cliche things that happen. At this time, I'm having problems with snowmen. Maybe if I make them myself out of some type of material, that would be different. Anyway, it's something of no offense to snowmen because I think they're very cute, but I just want to, like, there's no Santa and there's no snowmen and stuff like that. It's more winter celebration than anything to do with the specific Christmas holiday. I have a Yeti, I have moose, I have a Christmas llama, I have stuff like that, unusual things, and they're all basically white. And that will be what my Christmas decorations will be coming up this year. I need to sort out how to get that into place, and it will work itself out because I'm the type of person where everything works out for me, and it does. I just need to put into place what I want done, and it will happen. So, with speaking of Christmas, we'll go into the first woman that we have in that the sharer's name, and her name, and the name is Tamara. I'm going to show you on YouTube what the name is, and it's Tamara. And I've had different ways of saying that, and the name is Tamara, or Tamara, as I'm finding out. The first one is Tamara is the name of my oldest son's long-term girlfriend. They are now living together, and it's interesting that they are living in a house on the same street that I lived in 1981 to 1984. And it was funny because my son's like, Mom, do you know where this town is? And I'm like, yes, actually, I know it quite well. And I went for a drive when I went to see them this last visit. And the town has changed quite a bit, and a lot of the landmarks that I recognize are gone. And it was an interesting experience. But she is a fabulous light and a great addition to our family. Her sense of humor and her way of seeing things just makes her great to be around. We laugh so much with her and how she zings the family and holds everyone accountable, but in the best way possible. She's funny as hell. And enjoy her very much. And my son and the two of them decided to get me a gift certificate to this fantastic shoe company. It's called Super Lady Star. It made me a little nervous because I'm transitioning into a very strange area of life. My job now requires zero wardrobe. I can wear my house clothes all day at work because nobody sees me on a video and I never have to leave the house. So I only have to get dressed in regular clothing when I want to versus having to do it 5 days a week. So I am in a very minimalist type of wardrobe experience who's lived a maximalist life. I have so many shoes and they bought me a shoe certificate and I'm like, "Oh my god." So I went and looked on the site. I was very pleasantly surprised because I had basically thought I'd picked everything on that website that I had wanted, and I never had the chance to real communicate that with my husband because I'd been looking through the site. But there is a pair of these granny boots that are dark green, and I could do a lot with those. Super fun, super, super fun, as well as a clog. I got a pair of suede clogs, black and tan, and I've been wearing the black ones, and I've been really enjoying it, actually. I've been enjoying them quite a bit. And I thought, okay, I'll get a pair for summer, and there's this black one there that is just amazing. I'm just waiting now for the gift certificate, for I have my cart all ready to go to get those two pairs of shoes. And I am very thankful because I can have them in a very special place. I'm looking forward to them. I'm super thankful that she has given me great space and she has allowed me to come in. She sends me pictures of my son. She keeps me involved to some degree, and I'm very, very thankful for her. I'm hoping that I can spend more time with her eventually, and that's part of my resolution with this is that it's time now to spend more time there. I've missed too many Christmases. I really missed the idea of being together at family and doing the gifts. I really miss that. And I never thought that I missed it, but every year it's getting more and more. And so I want to be there for Christmas this year, which makes it a little bit difficult because the reason I go for Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving's in October. There's very little chance of it being horrific weather where I need winter tires and such. I really like having my own car up there when I'm driving so that I can have my freedom to go and do whatever I want to do instead of having to have my son take me everywhere or having to use his vehicle. And at Christmas time, going through those mountain passes can be something else. Have I done it? Yes. Do I want to do it with my current car? My current car really likes Washington weather. Yes, it does. And I've taken it onto the winter roads, and it has problems with it. I'm yeah. I'd have I don't I may consider flying to go up there for Christmas, and maybe it'll be a shorter visit because I have no car. I'll have to work those details out, but 2026 is one where I need to spend more time with my family up there, and I'm looking forward to seeing the creative ways in which that is happening. I know I'm going up there in April for my son's 30th birthday, and I am so excited because episode 4 with Marnie, my one-armed stroke survivor hairdresser who is back in a salon now, which just blows my mind. I had trouble with two hands, and here she's doing it with one. She is going to put my hair back to my natural color. And if you see on my video that I have quite the line of demarcation, I am doing the COVID grow out is what I'm doing because I just want my hair back to the way it was. I'm tired of dealing with the demarcation lines. I'm looking forward to it. Looks like it did go a little bit more silver, which means I can put colored peekaboos and stuff like that in my hair. And I just want the low maintenance part of it back again, which brings me to the second Tamara that I ran into this week. My hubby served in the 82nd Airborne. And if any of you ever watched MASH, the show MASH, the Army TV show, he was Radar O'Reilly. He was the clerk that kept everything together and did all the paperwork. That was his job. And he used to have to jump out of airplanes with a typewriter. believe it or not. And because of that, he is a veteran, and a veteran have a very special medical insurance plan down here that is convoluted as hell and can be very difficult to deal with. But once you get them on your sides per se and do all the little dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's, they can be a fantastic resource for veterans to help them. That being said, my hubby, when he had that scare last year, I can say that now, when he had that scare last fall, he had to go to the emergency room. And when you go to the emergency room, there is a whole bunch of things that can happen there, because it can be a bunch of hoops that you have to run through to get things all straightened out. And as it happened, there were some complications with my husband's claim. I had sat there and I had looked at this piece of paper for a long time, and something told me intrinsically just to let it sit, just wait it out and sit, because we call it the VA, Veterans Association. The VA can take their sweet ass time. As you know, what they're dealing with the government, they can take their time processing information. And then our government had a shutdown down here for quite a few days, and that also impacted any government processing of this type of paperwork. Oh, I never took any of that into account. I just went by my gut, and my gut told me just to sit on it. So my hubby then gets another notice from the VA, and I never read the notice. I thought the two notices were the same. I go and call our medical facility, and I talk to our financial services department because I need to talk to someone in billing. And when I talk to someone in billing, she says her name. I'm going to pass you over to Tamra. And I'm like, Tamra? I never knew anyone named Tamra in the business center or in the billing department. That must be someone new. But she said her last name, and I'm like, that last name sounds awfully familiar. This Tamra lady leaves a long message. So I call her and we start talking for a minute. And I said, just a second, like, is this my Tammy, like the Tammy on Facebook? You know, my Tammy, long blonde hair, Tammy. She goes, well, yes, Jax. So I never realized that I was talking to one of my girls that when I worked at the call center, I met some real fabulous people there that I just would sometimes go and say hello and check on them and just make them laugh. And we would share smiles across the cubicles type of thing. We never really worked in the same department, but I would always see her around there and we'd smile and connect, etc. She asked me how my cursive writing books are going. And I'm like, of course she had to ask me about that. And that's where the segue of the hair came in, because I realized that there is some reframing I need to do about my books, in which in my video, I have it right behind me, Crack the Cursive Code, for I have created something awesome, and it's time to peel back the reasons why I'm struggling with talking about that. So I decided to go and look at the reviews that I have for my book. And to my surprise, a woman made some videos about my books, just these product reviews. And I'm like, she's just in her living room, just doing the review. And I'm like, I'm the one struggling. I'm the one who created it. I'm the one that knows how it can reach the public and what special things are in there. And I'm saying nothing. And you know what? The first thing that stopped me from making a video that day was my hair. Because if I have to do a product review with my hair like this, where I have such a severe grow out and the color that it's growing out to is this shit brown color, I said, how can I have that? My meet the owner. This is who I am. Look at me. How fabulous. Yes. And this is my fabulous product, but I have horrible hair. And I thought, well, maybe I could wear a hat. But then the demographic, does that have people that don't trust a hat? But then my product is more alternative than it is streamlined. So maybe wearing a hat. Look at all the drama about being seen that I have to go through just because of having to represent my product. It's almost like I'm ashamed of representing my own product because of who I am. That the product would have done much better if it was created by somebody else. It's amazing how life can bring situations back to you to have a refocus or reframing or a tweak per se. But this issue with being seen and what my hair looks like brings back a time where my hair really, I thought I had done the cold turkey, do the plunge, do the rehab, do whatever you need to do to fix my hair issue. But here it is again on how I'm wrapped up with how I look in the video, and I can wear whatever hoodie I want. And that has very little impact on doing a video and stopping me from doing a video. But my hair is a very, very serious stumbling block. And I actually had this episode recorded yesterday, and thinking about it this morning, I had to add this section because I was glossing over on what I thought I had dealt with in regards to my hair. And here I am again, I'd say 20 years later. 20 years ago, I was a very active member in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and there is a wide spectrum of believers and how they practice in that faith. They can go from a person that basically acknowledges what the rules are to being quite fundamental and very, I'd say, on some of their life choices and how they view the lifestyle to be lived. And I mentioned this in a previous podcast, I lived a very strict life, one step up from becoming a real serious offshoot. And I loved and thrived that experience because it was nice to have rules, but know what the rules are and just be able to follow them and get praise and acceptance and feel like I was actually part of a church family and a small taste of what it would be like to be in the in crowd, as per se. And with that, as I was slowly transitioning into a different lifestyle, one that was outside of organized religion, that my transition was a little bumpy in some ways and an absolute avalanche and bridge burning in others. But in this one incident, I was still in a somewhat positive status in the church system, and I was known for having very beautiful hair. A lot of people would comment on what my hair looked like. So I decided to go from chest level to shoulder level. And I was having a conversation with a woman on a church bench just inside the church. And she goes, "You cut your hair?" And I went, "Yeah." And she goes, "There is a quote in the book, in the Bible, that often gets quoted when it's time about women and cutting their hair. And there are some, as you get more fundamental in the Bible beliefs, the longer the hair becomes on the women and sometimes on the men as well." So it was surprising because her herself cut her own hair, and I was quite shocked about why she even brought that up, because she was being a hypocrite in my mind. So I got pissed off and said, "Yes, I cut my hair." And she goes, "Well, I still like you, you know." And I'm like, "Lady." So I looked at her and said, "Well, I'm glad our friendship isn't based on the length of my hair." And she just looked at me kind of funny. And I'm like, she pissed me off. Anyway, as my universe does these things, I was going to a workshop shortly after, and that workshop was a mind-bending experience. It was something, I guess the closest you would look at it was something along the lines of Squid Games, where you're put in these very unusual team building. Now, instead of Squid Games being something where there's a process of elimination, this was the games where you really found out who you were, on how you worked within these games with these strangers that you never met. And one of the last assignments were that you were supposed to face your deepest fear. And that woman's experience with my hair, that conversation came up, and I thought, well, I'm going to buzz my hair off, because there was a lot of people that to buzz their hair off was their greatest fear. It was interesting because I had just had my hair, I don't know, bi-lighted, I guess, or tri-lighted. I had a natural and I had this really honey blonde and also a cherry red. It was beautiful. My hair was absolutely beautiful. And I just had that done weeks before. And so it was just coming to the point where it looks fantastic. You know, when you have a haircut, for me, it takes a little while for it to adjust. And then all of a sudden, it just at a certain time, it's usually 10 days to 2 weeks after, it just sings, because you finally get to have the hang of how you're working with this new medium. And it was right at that part when this was happening. But I realized that, who am I with my hair? Like, what am I doing? And it's been very interesting because my husband is very attached to my long hair. And anytime I talk about making my hair shorter, or whenever I cut it shorter, he makes quite a response. As long as there's enough to grab, he says, is the criteria. At that time, I really wanted to see who I was without my hair. And so I went to a local hair salon and I asked for her to buzz my hair off. And experienced hairdresser will know that they need to absolutely make sure that this person wants what they want, because it's an all or nothing. Once it's done, there's no going back type of situation. And sometimes people think they're brave enough even to cut their hair shorter, never mind buzz it. But in the past, I was a hair model twice, actually, where people did my hair in very avant-garde, futuristic type of haircuts. One was I was shaved all the way on the bottom, and I had this really rooster type, variegated. It was variegated, it was long and forward. It was just fabulous. It was very chic, and that was fun. And then the second one, it was a 1/4 inch. It was very short on the side and went all the way around to the other side, where it got a variegation of length, and then it was kind of pompadourish on the top, and that was cool as hell too. I've been on the stage where they take their scissors and they flip around with your hair, and they create a haircut for you. So I've done different things like that and rocked every single one of them. And when I got this done, I went to the salon, and I knew the hairdresser would be resistant, because who wouldn't be? So I found her clippers, I put the guard on, and I zinged my bang area myself. So there's no going back once that area is done. And she just looked at me, and I said, I've started it. Now you can finish it. And I go back, and my hair is super short. It's like a level 3 or 4. If you look at any kind of clipper grade, that's how long it was. It was long enough that I could feel it, that there was still hair there. So I go back home, and this is the difference between my husband of the past and how he felt he was to support me, and my current husband. And so my husband of the past, he was awake when I got home, and it was quite late and it was dark, and it looked like I'd pulled my hair back in a very tight ponytail, which I've done many times before. And so I turned the light on, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh," and all he does is ask one question. And I never realized how important this was at the time, but it was, "Why?" And I said, "Well, I've been battling with what my deepest fear was in regards to my hair." And then I told him about the conversation with the lady at the church. And his response was one of the best responses. And he looked at me, he goes, "Then you're going to do that to my hair and the boys' hair." Because this was late Sunday night. I had missed church because of the weekend retreat, and we were going to be going back the following week. So during that week, all 3 of the men in my house got their hairs cut, and we went as a united front to church. And my ex-husband was going around to everyone and goes, "Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my haircut?" And everyone was like, they couldn't find me because they couldn't recognize me because I looked so different because my hair was cut. And the woman looked at me after the conversation, and she just gave me this look, and I just winked at her and went, and I realized that when people put me in situations like that where I feel I don't know if it's an ultimatum per se, but it kind of feels that way, that I make a radical choice that suits me, that really dictates a message that this behavior is something that I am opposed to, and maybe I could do it in a less dogmatic way, but it was quite effective. So this New Year's resolution number 2 is to look a little deeper into this hair issue that I have, because I could easily cut my hair right now and get it short, and I would totally rock it. What would be the issue? I just was having short hair at the time. I rocked my hair the entire time it was growing out. I had fun in every single stage. So what is stopping me really from just embracing who I am, or what I need to do, or what my hair is actually? Why is it such a stumbling block here again, where I'm revisiting what my hair looks like and what limitations it has brought me? And resolution number 2 is also to focus more on my "I'm the type of person" statements on I am the type of person that can take very serious and boring subject matter and bring it to life and make it more fun. And that's what I did with my cursive curriculum. I also am the type of person that can solve problems for people. And one of the biggest problems I have found with cursive is nobody knows how to use it or keep it going or have the skill be something that you can use every day or keep it alive, so that when you need it, you have it. And my book does that too, because I created it with the pangram sentence. And once you learn the pangram sentence, you just write that sentence and you have every letter of cursive. And it takes 5 minutes to write the sentence, and you keep your skills alive. And the third thing about my book is that I have these connectors because they have all the alphabet, and that's just great, but they never show you how to connect the letters together. So if you have a word similar to like brain, for instance, you go to the B and then you look for the BR combination, then the RA combination, then the AI, then the IN, and you can take these little 2-letter combinations and create whatever word you want. And I have that going for me with this kick-ass curriculum just with cursive. Now, am I going to be the expert on how to teach it? No. But am I going to make it fun to learn and have longevity with it? Yes, that I can offer. And I'm now realizing what I have to offer, and it's starting to percolate within myself. But do I have to wait till April to get my hair done by Marnie when I go back up to Calgary? Because I really want the energy of having her do my hair. And I would like to be able to do videos and start talking about it now. So I just, anyway, there's that solution will present itself on how I can present myself in the best way possible, because this is who I am. I basically will do my hair a little bit different, and I may wear some different clothes, but I'm a pretty down to earth basic person when it comes to my exterior maintenance. I'm a pretty low maintenance gal. So it's hard for me to see why I'm hiding behind who I am when this is who I am. Resolution number 3 came in with my current boss, whose actual name is Tamra, Tamra, but she goes by the initials TJ. She taught me a very valuable lesson in 1, asking for help, in 2, receiving the help when you are drowning and you have no idea you need it and you get it, and 3, to receive the help with grace. Because of Christmas and Boxing Day for my Canadian friends, Thursday and Friday, I took both of them off. And there is a data entry online that I need to do frequently. I can skip a day. And there was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning. And Monday morning came in and I had lots of stuff because I was behind with being sick for almost a month. And I came in the morning and I received an email from her telling her that she did that job for me. And my first response was to just basically politely tell her to back the fuck up, because I can do my own job and I don't need someone, especially my manager, pointing out the things that I'm doing wrong. And it was very interesting because I never gave her the benefit of the doubt that she would want to even help me or that I would need help. She is the manager and the other person that I work with are supervisors. And for my manager to do my job for me really hit me that I am failing and that I'm doing something wrong. I talked to my other supervisor and he basically said, well, no, I think she was just trying to help you out. And I thought, really? That thought never even crossed my mind. This is in my 3rd resolution, is about emotional maturity. And remember, I was sitting there talking about how my husband needs to do this and my mother needs to do that, but this is where I need to do this. And I realized that I need to talk to her and be an adult and discuss it with her. So I called her and I said, I owe you an apology. She goes, for? I said, because I basically bit your head off when you were trying to help me. That's all you were doing. She goes, well, yeah, you were sick for quite a while and you also have some personal stuff going on. So I just was there. I had to do a report that was in the same data entry and I just did it for you. And I have to remember to say something about you're doing a good job or something positive with my emails, because she's quite a formidable force and has a lot of power behind her speech, and she only says what she needs to say, type of thing. And so when she talks in email, that's the persona that comes across. And I'm very thankful that I've seen the other side of her, because she's a fantastic person. And I'm very thankful that I have her as my manager. And no disrespect to previous managers, because I've had a lot of great people in my past who have been in management positions for me. And I'm just thankful that I have another one that through this last month of sickness and turmoil with my marriage and stuff, it's been really blessed. So my 3 resolutions this year are spending more time with my family and building those relationships, getting to the heart of what's going on with my cursive writing curriculum and start talking about that, and really learning how to be emotionally mature and believe that I really am the type of person that's setting myself up for success. I really am the type of person that is surrounded myself with people that love me. I really am the person that everything works out for me. And I am just in such a fantastic place. And I'm thankful that you want to go on this journey with me. You can always reach out to me and let me know how this episode resonated with you on Instagram or Facebook, and you can leave a 5-star review at any platform so that other people connect with me as well. All my t-shirt designs of Forthwith, Shift, and Loser are on my website, along with my cursive writing curriculum, crackthecursiveCode.com. And thank you again for spending your time with me, and I hope you have an awesome sauce days and a very happy new year. Jax.